He also believes that the crew didn't pay enough heed to the bad weather forecasts, and he's also saying why weren't the passengers taken to an assembly point? Why were they left in their cabins, which is where it seems that 6 of them perished.
Now, the tech tycoon Mike Lynch has been confirmed to be one of those found dead following the sinking of a yacht off the coast of Sicily. Lynch's 18-year-old daughter Hannah is the only person not yet formally identified, although the Italian Coast Guard has said that it has found the body of a woman. I'm joined now by the Times Italy correspondent Tom Kington, who's joined us every day on this show to talk about this yacht tragedy. Welcome to the show again, Tom.
Hello, good morning.
I have to say, in terms of the experts who are commentating on this issue, a lot of people are saying that they thought this boat was unsinkable. It's almost impossible to understand how it did sink. Is that still people? There's no kind of clear theory at the moment.
No, and there was a very interesting interview with the head of the company that built the yacht. He's been talking to Italian TV and speaking to Italian newspapers, and kind of blistering tone saying, "Yeah, the boat was unsinkable. It was designed to withstand hurricanes. Another boat that we built withstood Hurricane Katrina in the US. This was human error." And he gives us a series of reasons why he thinks that what might have gone wrong. Starting, he believes that perhaps they left open doors and windows, so when the boat then keeled over in the wind at an angle of something like 30 degrees, so not much, that it was enough to get a flood of water coming in through some open aperture, which then flooded the ship. He points to the fact that a video has shown the mast lights dimming just before the ship went down. He thinks that's due to a short circuit caused by flooding. He also believes that the crew didn't pay enough heed to the bad weather forecasts, and he's also saying why weren't the passengers taken to an assembly point? Why were they left in their cabins, which is where it seems that 6 of them perished.
And it's not clear to me as well, reading the news reports, whether the mast snapped or not. Do people know what happened?
No, it doesn't look like that. I think divers have now said that it looks like it's intact. The thing just sort of sank. Again, a snap mask would have helped explain why it went down. If it didn't snap, then you're looking for other reasons. Open windows could be one of them.
And it's obviously a huge story in the UK because Mike Lynch was such a well-known business person. But I was rather moved by the pictures I saw yesterday of the local community sort of coming out to watch the rescue operation, as it were, or the recovery operation, I should say, underway. And a bell was tolled as each body came ashore. It's been a sort of very emotional but I think moving operation with the local community.
I was there yesterday to watch the bodies come in, and more than the local community, I think what I found quite moving was the teams of firefighters, divers, Coast Guard officials who all stood in a line on the quayside as the bodies came in to sort of show their respect for the dead. And then a Coast Guard vessel drew up alongside the boat that was unloading the bodies to hide any sight of the body bags from watching journalists. So again, very careful to protect the privacy of the deceased. Again, as a mark of respect. I've seen that time and again, actually, at Italian disasters, natural disasters, earthquakes, sinkings in Italy, where public officials are just really, really mindful of the dignity of the dead. And I don't know if it's an Italian thing or perhaps a Catholic thing, but it's notable and it's very impressive.
How interesting. Well, Tom Kington, thank you so much for coming on the show again to bring us up to date on this terrible tragedy that affected the crew and guests on the Bayesian Superyacht, which was sunk by a freak tornado.
Well, you've got to admire the divers who've been repeatedly going down to work on the Bayesian yacht 50 metres underwater. It's a complicated mission. that can only go down for a few minutes at a time, and they're working in the dark on a large wreck lying on its side. But their perseverance has led to the recovery of the bodies of 5 of the 6 missing people after the Bayesian went down in seconds after being hit by a tornado. The most well-known of the people on board is the tech entrepreneur Mike Lynch. Well, Katie Prescott is technology and business editor at The Times. Katie, in tech circles, how is Mike Lynch viewed?
Good morning. Mike Lynch is one of the very few people who's managed to scale a massive technology company in the UK. So we really cannot underestimate how important he's been to the tech world over the past couple of decades. His business, Autonomy, was sold to Hewlett-Packard, the American giant, for $11 billion in 2011. And that's really an extraordinary achievement. But I have to say, his reputation since then has been overshadowed by the scandal that came after that sale. Hewlett-Packard accused him of fraud, and he's really spent the last 12 years fighting that allegation, only to be cleared in a US criminal trial just over 2 months ago. And this yacht trip was meant to be a celebration of that freedom. He was expected by the tech community to come back to the UK and continue investing in new technology businesses, and also exploring his own scientific background. He was an early pioneer of AI. So the tech community this week has been incredibly shocked by the news. I mean, it's hard to describe how flabbergasted people are by this.
And of course, yachts are one of the perks of the life at the very top of business. As you know far better than I do, they're used to do business as well as just for fun. There were quite a few other people involved in his circle, of course, and actually on the yacht, finance and business figures there as well.
Yeah, that's right. This was a celebration of his acquittal, and he brought together people who were very close to him over the last decade, who really helped support him through his trial and business endeavors. So we had a chap called Jonathan Bloomer, who is chairman of Morgan Stanley International, but had also been on the board of Autonomy, Mike Lynch's business, and given testimony in his recent trial. There was a New York lawyer who I spoke to very regularly during the trial, Chris Mavillo, a very jovial American lawyer who was always so generous with his time, which, you know, when you're a journalist, begging someone for information when they're busy isn't always the case.
It's always helpful when they're kind and give you their time. Yeah.
And their wives, and then also people who are from Invoke Capital, the investment fund that Mike Lynch set up. But I would say, yes, I mean, it was a sort of a business group, but really also friends, you know, people who had worked to support him in a very bleak period when, frankly, a lot of other people in the British business community hadn't.
Katie, thank you. Katie Prescott there, technology and business editor at The Times. And you can get live updates, of course, on the recovery operation in terms of what's happening with the Bayesian. You can head to thetimes.com.